Sagittarius.
Hello Sagittarius, happy birthday. This is your birthday month. And also I'd like to say that this month is starting out really, really good for you, these first couple of weeks. And this is after a period where November was probably a little bit more reflective. I see how you turned your energies inwards and you were thinking, you were speculating, healing perhaps. The 12th house can be the area of healing, but more spiritually than necessarily physically. So you had Venus and you had also Sun and Mercury there, but now they're coming out into this first house. So there's a feeling of renewal. You probably felt this already there under this last week of November, where the energy is just starting to shift and rise as these planets now going over your horizon. But here, the first house is your personality. So I see there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of spunk and spark, renewal of also your financial situation, I feel, as Venus too is cruising through this house where you're able to spend a little money on yourself, those things that you need, which can enhance your day-to-day quality, which is really good. Now, Mercury in your sign will allow you to come forward and speak your truth, your highest truth, because your sign is ruled by Jupiter, which is always about your higher truth. Now, Mars is in your second house for income, so you have worked really well throughout that of November, where you're really pushing ahead here, because Mars is your drive, your ambitions, your goals, and as it's moving through that second house of income, well, you have seen how you've transformed it one way or another. And this is good because Mars here is in this sector only once every other year. So it's going to be a full 2 years before you have the same drive and push to really want to make a difference. Now, Mars also did have an encounter here with Pluto there around 12th, 13th, thereabout of November. So it initiated something. You turned a corner. Now here in December, it's like trying to wrap it up. It will be here till December 5th. Then it's going to move into your third house for communication for the rest of the month. And you will see communication is not just what we speak and how we relate it or communicate it, but it's also short distance travel. So expect it to be a very busy month for you, traveling maybe short term, short distances. That's the third house. It's to and fro within your community, and Mars being your driver there, so to speak. So that will be interesting for you, but we have a lot of great aspects here these first couple of weeks, so I think this is going to bring a big smile to your face. Here December 1st, I see this very Mars, this drive that you have, now connecting to Saturn, which in many ways is our karmic planet, which keeps us along the lines of our growth and the lessons that we're here to learn. Now, Saturn for you has been in the 12th house for the last 2.5 years. So you might feel maybe that you've been completing a long journey of karmic residue in this area. Now, the good news is that on Christmas Eve, December 24th, Saturn's leaving this area. So you're kind of like out from behind the veil where it's been operating, and then you're going to be able to have a hands-on experience with this very Saturn. So for the next 2.5 years, Sagittarius, you're going to be growing within the sense of self, of what it is you manifest, because it's the first house, which is ruled here by the self. Okay, so you're going to have a very strong drive and focus, and you'll have more responsibility. Saturn comes into this area once every 28 years, 29 years, and it remains there for 2.5 years. So you have this long hauled period now to really grow and become the person that you've been wanting to be. And it brings a little bit more seriousness, but in that it also gives us, it holds us to the grindstone so that we can make the right choices, so that we can move ahead and grow with our talents and skills and whatnot. So it should be really good, and especially getting out of the 12th house, because that's a long time to have a planet there, and it's hard to grasp it when it's working behind the veil, but now it's going to be smack in your face. So it's doable. It creates structure and foundation. So here, this Saturn on December 1st is going to couple up with Mars, your goals, drives, and ambitions. And so whatever choices you're making on this day will be really, really good. And December 4th, we have two aspects coming in with a beautiful golden trine, which is going to be very generous with you, Sagittarius. It's your ruler here trining off with Venus, and Venus is love and romance, but it also rules money and those things that you desire. So when they come together, well, something is opening up for you. On the same day, the Sun and Uranus, the Sun being you and Uranus being the unexpected change coming in, so something might just land on you here December 4th. Now, Jupiter being in let me just check your house. Jupiter's in your 9th house, and Venus here in the 1st house, so it's coming from perhaps afar, out of state, could be out of country, and the 1st house is coming to you there with that Venus. It could also be an understanding. It could be a grant for schooling, the possibility to educate yourself. So there might be an opportunity there that you might want to look at. And the Sun and Uranus, well, Uranus is in your 5th house for creativity. So there might be a key opening the door for your creativity here that can start generating more money. So you want to see how that's going to work out for you. Now, I don't have your personal chart here, so I can't see where it is in your natal chart, but here in your solar chart, this is where it's going to angle in. Now, December 5th, following right along these golden aspects, another one. This is Mercury, communication. So there is some news coming to you. It could be a phone call, it could be a message about this change that now has come upon you. And this is, again, between your creativity in the 5th house, your self-expression. For others, it could also be your children, because this area rules children. There might be good news coming to them as well, or from them. Now, December 12th and 14th, we have 3 more great aspects. This is Mercury and Jupiter. We just had here on the 4th, Venus and Jupiter, but here's Mercury and Jupiter with that golden trine. So again, it's about news, about something just wonderfully opening up for you here in that 9th house for spirituality, the area where you grow and see the big picture. It's your house that you rule. You know, Sagittarius rules this area. So you're going to feel it more direct than anybody else. And the Sun is also now trying that Jupiter. So, you know, talk about blessings and gifts. You're going to feel it's just going to fall in your lap. But God knows you've worked for it. So it's not that easily accomplished. It's like you've been, just think about it, Saturn now wrapping up all that karma in your 12th, and here comes all the new. So I think this is something here that you're just going to wrap your arms around and embrace. Also on that December 14th, Sagittarius, we have Venus and Neptune. Now Neptune is, yes, it's the spiritual concepts of what we believe in, our hopes and dreams in that sense, but it's also the ideal and what we idealize. Being sextile to Venus, well, maybe some of this good fortune that has just come in those earlier days, you might go out and purchase something, Venus, a gadget or something that you truly will enjoy, that can enhance your skills and talents, especially when it comes to your creativity and artsiness, whatever that may be for you. Then we have the second half of the month, which is going to be a little bit more challenging, especially after having this really up end of everything opening up, and then here comes a little bit of a curve on the underside, and this is all about this square that we've been talking about, the Uranus and Pluto. We've had this through 2013 and now all of 2014. From time to time, we've had several encounters, but this is the last square that we're going to be seeing. So it's more like finally wrapping it all up together, where Uranus is breaking away from an old rut, Pluto transforming the new. And this is what it's been trying to do. It's been trying to shake you and wake you up over the last 15 or more so months of what it is you want to surrender, let go of, break free from, because Uranus is all about liberating, so Pluto can come in behind it and transform you. All right, so actually it's good. It just feels a little disruptive when it happens. Why? Well, because it comes, for the most part, from outer circumstances, rattling it around, and then you're going to have to be on the inside taking responsibility for it. So that's going to leave you here on December 20th with a little stress. There's a square between Venus and Uranus, so make sure you don't squander too much money on those first few weeks of December, because here you're going to have to look at where that money went, and also having to make some, should I say, deeper decisions of what is really truly important, because on the 20th we also have Venus conjuncting Pluto, which is that part of the transformation this square is trying to birth within you. So we don't want to run off to the old ways, because that's what Uranus is trying to break you free from, but how can we integrate the new? And Venus is love, it's passion, especially here along with Pluto, which is extremely passionate. So when those two come together, it can be really, really wonderful. It can be extremely healing, but it can also be feisty. So however it's going to work for you, you will come to see. Now, when Venus is conjunct Pluto, this is going to be in your second house. So this energy is going to be all from the income sector that you have. So you're going to have to look at it. The full moon, Sagittarius, this month will be in your seventh house for relationships. And of course, this could be your direct partner, your spouse. It could also be those partners that we work with closely here, one-on-one. So this area is going to be all illuminated here on December 6th, whereas the new moon this month will be December 21st in your sign, in Sagittarius, and in your first house for personality. So if you really liked how the month started out, this feeling of renewal and generosity, everything coming together for you, make sure you make a stipulation, because this is the time of the month that we put down our intentions and take all that feel-good feel and put it in there on the 21st and say, I want more of this. I want this feeling to carry on in the coming months, because it's going to be a full year before you get that chance to do it again. And of course, it's that time of the month that we always write out that abundance check to ourselves, right? And we sign it from the abundant law of the universe and set that check aside until the full moon, and then you just tear it up. But you can see how the law of the universe actually really works when we do this, for those of you who have been doing it for a while. So this is what we have. We have Uranus going to turn direct December 22nd, and that's good. It's been retrograde now for the last 5 months, so you're going to see how that's going to be picking up speed, moving you forward, creating all those good changes that are ahead of you. It's going to be supporting you through it. And then we also have Jupiter, your ruler, is going to go retrograde here from December 9th through that of April 9th. And but it's a pretty good planet, even when it is retrograde, because it's so abundant. To think about the size of Jupiter, it's huge, right? So even when she's retrograde, she can still come with her gifts and guidance, so it should still be good. And Jupiter for you is in that 9th house, where you're expanding upon new areas of consciousness. So listen to your partner's chart and see what's for him or her, just so you know what you can expect from them through all of these fantastic, wonderful aspects. And then of course listen to your moon and your rising sign. And happy holidays, Sagittarius. I'll see you in the new year. And of course, talking about New Year, your New Year scopes are up, so do go listen to them as well. Bye now.